Oke, selamat hari Jumat everyone. Ya, weekend telah tiba. Baik. Okay, so this week we have a lot of holidays, yeah, Monday and also on Thursday. So basically, you only have like 3 days of learning session at school. So today's Friday, and yeah, this is going to be the last lesson for today because on the third session we'll have a Zoom gathering. Okay, so let's just start the lesson. And I'm gonna share my screen to you guys, and we're going to learn still about two-dimensional shapes, but this time we're going to learn about compound shape. Okay, compound shape. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen with you, and here we go. Okay. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna write down the title first. I haven't written it down there. Okay, so let me write that down. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, that will be compound shape. Okay, compound shapes. Okay, so what is actually compound shape? It's actually like a combination of two or more shapes. Okay, we know about that now. Yeah, two or more shapes. For example, like this. Yeah, as you have, if you seen, as you see here on my screen, there is a shape like this, right? So if I ask you what is the name of the shape, you might not know. Okay, but it's an L shape, maybe, right? But yeah, there's no L shape. I mean, like, yeah, there's an L shape, but in what do you call it? We don't really have a general name for this, right? In terms of geometry. So that's why we call it compound shapes. So it's a combination of more than one shapes, right? So if you put together, for example, like you have a square and you have a rectangle and then you combine them and become something like this, for example, then we can say that it's a compound shape. Yeah. So now we're going to talk about perimeter and area because we have already talked about that before, perimeter and area. So I'm going to write that down here. So for example, here, I want to know what is the perimeter and the area of the shape. Okay, so I write down the perimeter and area equals to what? Okay, so let's go back to the definition of perimeter itself. We know that the area, the perimeter is just the length, not the length, like the distance around a shape. So for every time you want to find the perimeter, you only need to involve or add all of the side length, right? That is outside that outside the shape, right? I mean, like it's on the border. I mean, like, yeah, what do you call it lah? Ya, pinggirannya lah gitu ya, pokoknya. So, for example, if I have a line in here, right, you don't really need to count that as a perimeter because it's inside, right? Or for example, I have another line over here. You don't need to count that, include that into the calculation if you want to find the perimeter. So in conclusion, when we want to what you call the calculate the perimeter of a compound shape, something like this. So you only need to focus outside the shape, yeah. So which means that we're going to focus on here, right, and then here. Oops, sorry. Wait. Okay, here and then here. Oh my God. Maaf ya. Kok aduh saya salah pencet. Sebentar. Lupa saya. Wait. Sebentar ya. Otomatis kudasai. Wait. Oke, sebenarnya. Okay, here we go. Again, when we want to find the perimeter of a shape, just conclude the things inside, outside, yeah, outside the shape. So we have over here, like this guy over here, and then this guy over here, and then this guy's over here, this guy over here, and this guy over here, right? Sorry ya, gambar jelek. Tapi gitu lah pokoknya ya. So maybe if I put some vertex, for example, this is A, and then this is B, this is C, this is C, wait, this is D, point E, and then point F, right? So the perimeter is basically is just adding from AB to BC, CD, DE, EF, and FA, right? So I'm gonna write it down. So that will be AB plus BC plus CD plus DE plus EF plus FA. Okay. So basically that, yeah, we only need to add all of them. But there's a problem here actually. I mean, like, we need to know all of the sideline, right? So the one that we have already know in here are these, right? The 9, the 10, the 2, and the 6. But we haven't known the DE, right? And then EF, right? We don't know that. So we can find it out by looking at the other side of the other sideline of the shape. Okay. Can anyone try to tell me what do you think is the length of ED and EF? Silakan. Biasanya Darren nih. Darren gimana Darren? What do you think? What is ED? What is the length of ED?
Pakainya ED.
4 Pak, 4 Pak.
4. Kata Darren 4. Kalau kata Tristan berapa?
ED itu 7, Pak.
7. Oke. Dari mana Tristan 7?
Kira-kira, Pak.
Kira-kira. Jangan dikira-kira. Kiara gimana? What do you think?
Jadi sama dengan 9 dikurang 2.
Yes, thank you very much, Kiara. Yeah. So yeah, there is actually it's 9 minus 2. So why do we choose those two numbers? Because actually, guys, the only thing that you need to see here, because all of the lines are vertical and horizontal, right? So the easiest way to do this is just, bentar ya, ada yang baru datang. Elia baru datang.
Tadi aku pakai tik juga, Pak.
Iya kan, tadi makanya kamu bilang katanya begitu, bukan di itu. Gimana dong? Saya
Itu
juga.
cuman tapi aku kira-kira, Pak.
Iya, bukan dikira-kira, tapi ya harus pasti ya. Oke, saya ulang ya. So, okay. So here, so why do we need to use that 9 and 2? Why do we need to use this and this? So the easiest way to do this, guys, actually, we see that all of the lines are vertical and horizontal, right? All of them, either it's vertical or is it horizontal, right? So let me show you what I mean, okay? So we have this line here, FA, right? This is a vertical line, right? This is a vertical line. And then another vertical line is this one, right? And then this is also a vertical line. So that all of them will be connected, right? So this line is shorter, right, than this line, right? So, or if I move this line here, so maybe I'm gonna use my, right? Ya, saya mau pakai alat yang lebih enak. Can I make a line? Ya, bisa nggak sih? Saya lupa di sini bisa gambar lain. Oke, pakai ini aja ya. Okay, let me draw a straight line. It's a 90-degree angle. So here we go. Okay, so let me draw this line over here. Yeah. Use green. Okay, here we go. So this line here, right? I'm drawing that ED, right? So if I move that, for example, like this, if I move that ED, I move that to the right here, right? What happened? That if we combine with BC, that will be FA, right? So this guy, right? This is ED, right? That's just the line that I'm just moving that to the right side and combine that with BC. With this one, right? So ED and BC will be the same with FA, right? So that is the hint, right? Why do we need to use that FA and BC, right? So which means that this is going to be 7, because if this is 7 and this is 2, 7 plus 2 is equals to 9. Okay, paham ya maksudnya ya? Okay, so that's the first one. Okay, how about EF then? Kalau EF gimana guys? Cynthia mungkin kita? Cynthia waktu itu?
EF itu 2 cm, Pak.
2 cm. Oke, Cynthia, saya nanya Cynthia. Kamu mau ganti nama aja Cynthia. Cynthia, halo.
F yang mana, Pak?
Ya, EF. Saya nanya EF. This guy over here. Berapa ya? Kira-kira aja, kira-kira. Jangan kira-kira sih, dihitung. Berapa?
4 kira
4. Dari mana 4 ya? Where do you get 4?
10 kurang 6.
Yes, okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so it's actually the same thing with the previous one, right, guys? Because let me show you again what I mean again. Previously, we were talking about vertical lines, right? The FA or the FA, and then we have ED, right? And then we have BC. All of them are vertical lines, so they'll be connected in the shape, yeah? And because this, if FE, this is a horizontal line, so which means that we can find other horizontal line. The AB is horizontal, right? The DC is horizontal. Oh, sama-sama horizontal nih, ya kan? So can you see that if I move this, wait, if I move this, sebentar ya. If I move that DC here, right? Ah, there you go, right? So if I move that there, this is 6, right? This is 6. And this is 10. So this is 10, right? So 6 plus something equals to 10, which is equals to 4. Okay. So can you see what I mean right here? Okay. So this is one of the illustration that I'm showing you guys. This is what makes it quite easy actually if you want to know the length of one side in a compound shape. Okay, so I'm gonna copy that. Ini soalnya banyak sekali cara-caratannya, saya tulis ke bawah aja biar nggak ganggu. Wait, cakaman. Banyak sekali catatannya. Okay, I'm gonna move that and make it. Can I make it a little bit smaller? I think so. Nggak bisa deh. Oke ya, itu yang tadi ya. Oke, yang atas nih saya hapus aja. Okay, I'm gonna erase that a little bit so that we can see it again. So I'm gonna erase the doodles that I made. Erase all of them, and then I'm just going to take the numbers. Okay, I'm just going to take the numbers. So after we investigate that, oh, okay, so this guy here is 4 centimeter, and this guy here over here is 7 centimeter. Okay, so now we have all of the side line, right? So which means that when we want to find the perimeter, just add all of the numbers. Quite easy as that, right? So AB, I'm starting from here. So A, B, C, D, E, F, okay. So that's just 10 plus 2 equal baru datang. Terima kasih. Saya tulis dulu ya. 10, 31. Okay. Okay, 10 plus 2, and then plus 6, and then plus 7, and then plus 4, and then plus 9. Right? So you can just add this, right? I don't need to help you with the calculation. Quite easy. 12 plus 6. Aduh, jawaban juga baru datang. Oke, baiklah. Saya tulis dulu ya. Ada apa ini kelas? Kelasnya lama sekali, 17 menit. Okay, baik. And then okay, 10 plus 2 is 12, plus 6 is 18, 18 plus 7 is 25, 25 plus 4 is 29, 29 plus 9 is 38. Okay, there you go, in centimeter. Okay, so again, guys, when I've shown you before that the easiest way to find the side length, if you have like something like this, where you have only like vertical and horizontal line, so just connect the vertical with the vertical, horizontal with the horizontal. That's it. Okay. Whether you subtract that or you add them. The easiest way to see it, oh, is this shorter or like longer? If it's shorter, then you minus the longer one with the short one, right? If it's longer, so you add them. As easy as that. Okay. So remember, guys, math is not just about numbers or calculation. It's about how to use your logical thinking. Okay. So that's the first one for the shape. Okay, any question before I continue to the next question? Paham semua? Okay, very good, guys. Okay, next question, which is the area. Okay, so for the area, guys, let's go back to the definition again. So the area is actually like the calculating how many square unit inside a shape, right? So because this is like a shape that, oh, okay, I don't really know what the name of the shape, but in a compound shape, you can actually like separate this into like several parts, okay? You can actually dismantle this shape into several parts. But for me, for example, for this one, I'm going to separate this into two shapes. Okay, two shapes. So I'm gonna make another line here. I'm gonna use the red one this time. Okay, so I'm gonna use this line over here. Sorry, should be pakai penggaris aja ya. Biarlah ya kok. Sorry guys, saya lupa mulu nih. It's been a long time since I used the Microsoft Whiteboard. Saya pencet itu mulu. That's the undo button. Okay, so I'm gonna use the ruler to make a straight line over here. Okay, so first I'm gonna erase that first. I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna use this one, and I'm gonna make a line over here. I'm gonna make it a dash line, so that you know that this is actually just a line to help us to find the area of the shape. Okay, so as you can see now, we have two shapes that being combined, right? So let me name this point here with P, for example. Yeah. So I will get two shape, right? So shape number one is this. I'm gonna name that with number one, and this is number two. Shape number one is a rectangle, right? So APEF is a rectangle, and the next shape is also a rectangle. Okay, as you can see here, I'm gonna use other color to make it clear to you guys. So this is a rectangle, right? So this is a rectangle. Hopefully it will be okay. Nah, itu dia. Aduh, sorry ya, mungkin agak sedikit terlalu besar sedikit. Nah, kira-kira begitu ya. Nah, gitu. Oke, ya dikira-kira sajalah begini ya. Oke, harusnya ada ke atas sedikit. Oke. Saya bikin lagi deh. Biar Abdul. Oke, I'm gonna make another one here. So here we go. Oops. Nah, ini dia. Okay, so that is shape number one, right? Okay, shape number one. And then we also have another shape over here, right? This is shape number two. Ha! Right? Can you see that actually we have two shapes? We have two rectangles, right? So when we want to find the area here, we only need to add the area number one plus area number two, all right? So in conclusion, if we want to find out the total area, the total area, so the total area will be equals to area number one added with area number two, right? Shape number one and shape number two. Okay, now sekarang saya mau nanya. Oke, saya mau mulai dari Aira dulu. Aira, can you help me with to calculate the area of shape number one?
9 times 4.
Okay, very good. Okay, now I'm gonna go to Ali. Ali, how about the second shape?
Yes, Pak.
Yeah, what is the area of the second shape? This red rectangle. Aduh, how will we calculate that? Okay, tinggal panjang kali lebar kan? Panjangnya berapa, lebarnya berapa?
Iya, Pak.
6 kali 2, Pak.
Berapa?
6 kali 2.
6 kali 2. Oke, terima kasih. Oke, it's 6 times 2 ya. So this is the length is 6. We have this one, right? And then this is the width, right? That is for the second shape. Okay. So again, guys, actually it's quite easy. It's not that hard, right? So you only need to split this into two parts, and then you calculate the area for shape number one and count this area the shape number two, and then you just add them. Okay, because this is the combination, and then because like this is combination of two shapes, and you add them, and yeah, there you go. So that will be equals to 9 times 4 is 36 and 6 times 2 is 12. So that will be equals to 48. And don't forget to write down the unit. Okay? Okay, silakan dicatat dulu ya guys. Please write this down because this is going to be very important for you guys. I'm going to give you a lot of questions involving compound shapes. And yeah, maybe for today, we're not going to talk about the algebra. I changed my mind. We're going to talk about just compound shape for today. And for next week, then we will talk a lot about algebra, yeah? Okay, any question before I continue? Tidak ada? Oke, baiklah. Okay, so let's go to the next shape. Okay, the next shape is actually almost the same with this one. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the next shape, which is this one. Wah, ini mirip banget dengan yang tadi, Pak. Of course, very look alike. For this time, the length, all of the lengths are here. Yeah, so you have all of the length. Okay, saya mau ke Nikki dulu. Nikki, what do you think is the perimeter then of this shape?
Is it 10 centimeter?
Okay, 10, you add all of them, yeah?
Yes,
Yes, okay, thank you, Nikki. Yeah, so it's just 3 plus 1. So if I start from here, yeah, 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2. So that will be equals to 10, yeah? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, thank you, Nikki, yeah? It's just equals to 10. It's quite easy, yeah, for this one, because you have all of the side lines. So that will be 10 centimeters. Okay, now let's go to the area. Okay, I'm gonna go to Abel. Abel, what do you think is the area? How do we calculate that? Okay, I am going to, what do you call it? I'm going to put some points here. So I'm gonna name point A, point B, point C, point D, E, F. Okay, Abel, what do you think? How can we calculate the area?
Dibagi 2 shape.
Kamu mau bagi duanya dari titik mana? Dari bikin garisnya dari mana? Dari D atau E, F, A, B atau C? Dari titik mana? Dari sini ke sini? Bukan? Dari mana ke mana?
Sabar, Pak.
Dari titik mana ya? Oke, bagaimana?
C sama
Dari C ya? Boleh dari C. Mau bikin horizontal atau vertikal? Terserah.
horizontalnya mana, Pak? Yang
Ini
nyambung.
horizontal, ini
Ya,
vertikal. Itu. Harus tahu ya mana horizontal mana vertikal, jangan sampai salah nih ya. Oke, horizontal is this ya. Nih horizontal ya. Oke, so maybe I'm gonna use again guys to make it neat. I'm gonna use the ruler ya. Keren kan aplikasi saya ada rulernya? Yes, of course. Cuma di matematika yang kayak begini. Okay, here we go guys. So I'm gonna make a line, a straight line. It's like just like the additional, I mean like the expanding the line CD. Saya cuma perpanjang aja tuh garis CD gitu ya. I'm gonna use green this time. I'm gonna use dash line so that you can see that this is like just a help for us. Okay, here we go. So after we have that, means that we are going to separate this again into 2 parts. Okay, so I'm gonna name this with shape number 1 and this is shape number 2. So if I draw it again, guys, using my, okay, so I'm gonna draw shape number 1. As you can see here, I'm making this shape over here, right? So that is the first shape. And the second shape will be over here. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I'm gonna go to Raihan. Raihan, what is the area of the first shape?
2 times 1.
Berapa? 2 times?
1.
1, okay, very good. Now I'm gonna go to Brian. Brian, what is the area for the second shape?
2 times 1.
Okay, very good. Again, 2 times 1 is just 2. 2 times 1 is just 2. So 2 plus 2 equals to 4. That's it. Right? Centimeters squared. Okay, easy, right? Easy peasy. Yes, of course. Yeah. Okay, so those two questions that examples that I gave you is just like again, guys, you only need to use your logical thinking, right? It doesn't really take that much because it's you know the basic of like perimeter and area. Okay, so let's head to the next question again. So this time maybe we're going to involve other shapes, not just rectangle. Okay, so we're going to use okay, I'm gonna go here first. Okay. Aha. Okay, now I'm not going to talk about the perimeter because we don't have this. Because in order to find this, we need to know Pythagoras, and we haven't learned about that now. So I'm gonna skip with the perimeter. I'm just going to ask you for the area of the shape. Okay, I'm gonna name all of the vertex with A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, what do you think? How many shapes can I separate from this shape? Maybe I'm gonna go to Lukman. Lukman, what do you think, Lukman?
Separate ya, Pak.
Ya.
Ini
Misalnya
shape-nya trapezium bukan sih, Pak?
bukan, trapezium mah cuman begini doang dong.
Iya, Pak.
Itu dong. Kalau itu kan ada begitunya.
Saya boleh anotet nggak, Pak?
Boleh, of course.
Yang ini apa dipisah ya, Pak?
Ya, boleh. You can use any mean you want. Dari
Kalau
mana
kayak gini
sampai-
bisa nggak sih, Pak?
Yes, bisa banget. Yes, Lukman. Very good. Yes. Oke. Boleh dihapus? Saya gambar lebih rapi ya. Okay, Lukman, thank you very much. So yes, you can use that line and make it into two different shapes. And here we're going to make a vertical line. Ini vertikal ya, jangan sampai lupa nih. Vertikal tuh naik turun ya, horizontal tuh kiri kanan. Okay, so I'm gonna use blue this time. No, not blue. Maybe yeah. So I'm gonna use a dash line here again, guys. A dash line. And we can see that, oh, this is actually comes from two shapes, right? Shape number 1, I'm gonna name it here. And shape number 2 is over here. Okay, so shape number 1 is a rectangle and shape number 2 is trapezoid, right? Is a trapezoid. Okay, now let's calculate the area. Okay, so that will be, the area will be equals to area number 1, the total area.
Pak, saya mau dong.
Of course, silakan.
Number 1, 10
10
times
times 26. Oke, yang kedua?
Yang kedua itu kan C sama D belum ada, Pak, itunya.
Ya nggak perlu.
Oh.
Kan trapezoid.
Kalau yang nomor 2 aku bingung, Pak.
Yang dua bingung. Oke, yang lain ada yang bisa bantu? Akasha mungkin? How about you, Akasha?
Pak, saya tahu, Pak.
Ya, silakan terusan.
22 kali 9, Pak.
22 kali 9. Oke, yang lain ada yang punya pendapat berbeda, guys?
What can I try?
Of course, Kiara.
26 ditambah 9.
26 tambah 9, terus?
Dibagi 2.
Bagi 2, terus?
Dikali 22.
22. Okay, thank you, Kiara. Yes, actually this is true. Yeah, I'm gonna show you why is it like that. Okay, we know that the area of trapezoid, right? If you forgot, you can check your book again, your notes. Yeah, the area of a trapezoid is equals to A plus B over 2 times the height, right? Right, A and B. And remember that I told you before, right? The A and B here are the two parallel lines, right? So notice that if I make this into, ini bisa langsung trapezoid ya. Saya coba dulu ya. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bisa nggak ya? Oh bisa ya. Kira-kira gini ya guys. Kira-kira ya. So this is like the trapezoid. So let's assume that these two lines are parallel, right? Parallel kan dia kan? Parallel ya. Okay. So parallel. So this is going to be A. This is going to be B, right? And the A is 9, right? And the B is this guy, which is 26. A tambah B sama dengan B tambah A ya, nggak masalah ya. Okay, so that's the first one. And then divided by 2, and then times the height. So which one is the height? Pak, tinggi kan dia harusnya begini, Pak. Ya guys. Tapi guys, if I change this, ya, misalnya nih ya, ini kalau saya puter begini, ya kan, tuh, ya kan, height-nya yang mana? Jadi yang ini kan, nah ini kan height-nya, ya enggak? Nah, yang itu berapa sih? Ya kan, ini, this one over here, right? Since we know that this is 10, right? Ini sama kan? And this is 32, so this is 22, because 10 plus 22 is equals to 32. Okay? Paham ya? Kelihatan ya? Oke, sip, lanjut. So, which means that we can have 26 plus 9, atau 9 plus 26 is the same thing, but divided by 2 and then times with 22. Again, this 22 comes from here, yeah? Okay, so that will be equals to, so that, wait, cakaman. Okay, 10 times 26 is 260. And this one is 26 plus 9 is 35 over 2. And then multiply by 22. I'm going to cancel that. So that will be 260 plus 35 times 11 is 385, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So if you add them, we will have 645 centimeters squared. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So again, guys, you really need to know the basic what do you call formulas. Again, you don't really need to memorize them if you can't. You can just like make them into notes. Okay, so you put like a post-it and then you stick it on your notes, and then every time you encounter this kind of question, you can just go back to the formula and then use it. Okay, thank you Tadi Kiara, thank you very much. Next question. Ini boleh ditulis ya. I'm gonna wait for 5 seconds. I'm gonna drink first. Oh, where's my drink? Maaf ya guys, saya minumnya teh botol iklan nih. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Okay, any question before I continue to the next question? Okay. Jangan lupa nanya ya. Okay. Okay. If you have any difficulties, don't forget to ask. Okay, let's go to the next shape. This time is a little bit different. Because we didn't talk much about circle previously in the previous session. So I'm gonna write down the formula for you guys, okay? So for this one, let's talk about perimeter and area, yeah? Okay, so I'm gonna write down the formula first, okay? So the perimeter of a circle, we call it circumference, yeah? It has a different name. So circumference is equals to 2 pi r. So the pi can be 22 over 7 or 3.14 for educational purpose, but actually it's not that. I mean, like the exact value is not that, it's just pi. And the area will be equals to pi r squared. Okay, so just remember these two formulas. And we're going to ada yang intip salah di sekolah, guys. Okay, so we're going to use that formula to find the perimeter of and the area of the shape. Okay, so now let's start from the perimeter. Okay. Okay, tadi Akasha belum jawab. Saya mau ke Akasha dulu. Akasha, what are the shapes that form this compound shape? Aduh, Nadia baru datang.
A rectangle.
Rectangle and
Half circle.
a circle. Is it a full circle?
Half.
Half a circle. Okay, half a circle. Yes. Okay, so we have two shapes, yeah? The first one is a rectangle and the second one is half a circle. So I will make a rectangle. I'm gonna draw the rectangle over here. Wah, gambarnya nggak bagus, Pak. Iya, tenang aja, tunggu. Set, otomatis kan? Ya, keren kan? Iya dong, keren. And then the next one is we have the half circle, yeah? We call it semicircle, actually, yeah? So we have a semicircle over here. So maybe for the semicircle, it's not going to be automatically shaped. Kayaknya nggak deh, nggak bisa. Ya udah, no problem, okay? So, and then in these two formulas, we have this R, right? So when we want to find the circumference atau kelilingnya, And the area of a circle, we need to know that R. Okay, question, what is R? R itu apa ya? Ada yang tahu? R itu apa? Ramlan. Bukan lah. Raihan. Raihan, this is R, your name. Apa namanya? R itu apa ya di sini ya? Ada yang tahu nggak, guys?
Jari-jari, Pak.
Jari-jari, yes, very good. Ya, jari-jari. In bahasa Indonesia, we call it jari-jari, or in English we call it radius. Ya, R is the radius. Okay, now we have this semicircle, the one that I draw in green. The question is, what is the radius of that semicircle? Gimana? Gimana guys? Ini banyak sekali yang off cam ya. Ayo yang off cam silakan jawaban. Tadi siapa yang nanti ya? Ada Kaihan, ada Kiko, ada Felisa. Artinya tadi kayaknya lagi izin ya. Ada Aurel, Rafael tadi izin juga. Kemudian Paliha, Arkan, Gio, Danish, Nadia. Silakan. Wow, berisik sekali. Sebentar ya, saya mau kasih tahu dulu biar kalian berisik. Terima kasih. Iya, tadi ada Pak Pur. Lagi nyalain itu buat motong rumput. Oke, saya lanjut ya guys. So, tadi siapa? Saya nanya siapa ya? Raihan ya? Raihan? Atau yang lain boleh guys? Siapa aja? What do you think is the radius of this semicircle? Kiko mungkin? Kiko ini belum on cam nih. Silakan. Ya udah deh, saya ke Tristan lagi deh yang lagi asik main tisu. Tristan, what do you think, Tristan? What is the radius? Berapa panjang jari-jarinya itu ya?
Bentar Pak, jari-jari itu yang benar.
Ya, jari-jari. Gak tahu jari-jari? Oke, baik.
Tahu Pak, cuman aku agak lupa Pak.
Oh iya, jari-jari ini yang kamu pakai buat makan nih namanya jari-jari. Oh, bukan, bukan itu. Oke ya, saya gambar dulu ya guys. So let me draw a circle ya. Circle-nya jelek banget Pak. Iya benar jelek sih. Saya ulang ya. Ini circle-nya nggak otomatis nih. Ayo dong, circle, please come to me. Kok nggak otomatis sih? Bisa langsung jadi tuh. Nah, circle ya. Oke, so if I have a center point over here, right? The radius is the distance from that center point to the circumference. Nah, ini dia yang kita sebut dengan radius ya.
Oke.
Nah, itu R. Jadi kalau ini nih kan setengah lingkaran ya. Oke. Nah, pertanyaannya adalah what do you think is the length of the radius of that semicircle?
Nggak tahu.
Gak tahu? Oh iya boleh sih, nggak tahu sih. Yang lain ada yang bisa bantu. Darren biasanya tahu nih.
10 bukan Pak?
Berapa? 10? Hampir,
Iya.
hampir dikit lagi.
10,5 Pak.
10,5. Tadi siapa ya?
Aruni.
Aruni, yes Aruni. It's 10,5 ya guys. Okay, I'm gonna show you where that 10.5 comes from. Okay, so basically guys, when we have this semicircle, the center point of the circle should be around here ya, ya kan? Nah, setuju ya. Ini kalau saya gambar begini kan jadi begini ya, ya kan titiknya di situ ya, kira-kira aja ya guys, oke. Nah, berarti dari sini sampai sini dong. Sebentar. Gimana pakai penggaris aja dah. Aduh, ini enggak bagus kalau pakai penggarisnya. Oke. So, which means that the radius will be from that point, right? to the circumference. So it can be going that way atau ke bawah juga boleh ya. Saya mau ke atas dulu aja deh. Nih dia, ya. Nah, ini kan like this is R, right? This is also R. Kan dari sini ke sini R, dari sini ke sini R juga, ya kan? Dan dari sini ke sini kan 21. Gitu ya, 21. So which means that the R is just like, oh ini bagi 2 aja langsung, gitu kan? Nah, 21 dibagi 2 itu adalah 10,5, yaitu 10.5. Okay, so that is where that 10.5 comes from. So I'm gonna show you here, guys. Here we go. Aduh, nge-lag tiba-tiba. Oh my God, ada apa ini? Okay, so I'm gonna write down that is the radius here. The radius. Oh, kok saya salah pencet. This is the radius, and the radius, ya, saya tulis dulu ya, radiusnya is 21 divided by 2, or 10.5 centimeter. Okay, so which means that we can calculate the perimeter then, right? So because we know that in perimeter, we only need to calculate the outer side of this shape. So we're going to calculate this one, right? Include that with this one, and then this one over here. And then this one over here, which is 20, right? Because it's the same thing with this one. And then the last one is this over here. Yeah, man. Okay, so that is the circumference of half of circle. So which means that if I want to know the circle for this one over here, saya mau hitung ini sendiri misalnya gitu ya. Itu langsung aja lah. The perimeter is equals to 20, right? This one. Plus 21, this one, plus 20, this one, and then plus, one more thing, okay. And then plus this guy. Okay, cara ngitungnya gimana? Ada yang tahu nggak? Ada yang bisa bantu saya mungkin? Cynthia lagi, boleh, Cynthia.
Hitung apa Pak? Perimeter?
Ya, perimeter of that setengah circle. Nih, saya udah kasih rumusnya nih, tuh. Nih, perimeter of circle tuh yang ini nih. Nih, the perimeter of circle. Jadinya gimana dong?
Itu 2, itu apa Pak?
2 PR.
Jadi Pi-nya itu dikali 2 atau gimana?
Ya, betul. 2 PR, 2 Pi kali R, 2 kali Pi kali R gitu kan?
Oh ya. Itu berarti nyari Pi-nya Pak?
Bukan nyari Pi-nya, nyari ini, nyari kelilingnya nih, dari sini ke sini nih. Tuh. Kan kelilingnya, tapi setengahnya doang, ya kan? Jadinya gimana dong?
Itu tadi 2.
2, terus?
Dikali.
Pi-nya kita pakai 2/7 aja ya. R-nya berapa?
Dikali tadi 10,5.
Oke, tapi ada tapinya. Kalau ini kan kalau full circle, ini kan cuma setengahnya doang. Jadi kalau ini kan kalau satu lingkaran penuh gitu ya. Tapi kan ini cuma setengah.
Dibagi 2, Pak.
Dibagi 2, benar. Atau saya boleh kali setengah ya, boleh kan? Boleh ya, kali setengah ya. Bagi 2 sama kali setengah sama aja, ya nggak? Nah, itu dia guys ya. Jadi lihat dulu, so you can see that, oh ini kan cuma like half of the circle. So which means that it's the half of the circumference gitu ya. Jadi setengah ya dikali circumference gitu. Okay? So that will be equals to 20 plus 21 plus 20 is 61, and then we can just like cancel this, right? So basically guys, the 10.5, I'm gonna rewrite that. I'm not going to write that down as a decimal. Kalian nggak apa-apa sih, tapi saya mau milih ini jadiin fraction aja. Kenapa? Biar bisa gampang di cancel. Okay, here I'm gonna cancel these numbers. Okay, so this is what I'm going to cancel. Ini pensil ya. Okay, the first one I'm gonna cancel this one. Ya kan, bisa kan di cancel atas sama bawah. Saya mau cancel lagi ini guys, ya nggak? Ini jadi 1, ini jadi 3. Bisa kan? Nah bisa. Ini kok jadi begini sih? Okay. And the last one here, I'm gonna cancel this one and this one. Ya nggak? Ini jadi 1, ini jadi 11. Nah. Ini nggak enak tuh jadinya. Oh, tinggal 1 kali 11 kali 3 dibagi 1. Ya udah, 33. Ya kan? Nah, itu dia. So that will be 94 centimeters. Okay, gitu ya. So this is again, guys, one of the easiest way on how to calculate something like this. So when you have fraction, just leave it as fraction. Okay. So one of the reason why, because when we can cancel, it will make the calculation even easier. Okay, instead of pakai 10,5 gitu, aduh lama banget nih ngitung desimal kali-kali gitu kan. Pakai gini aja cepet, gak usah pakai kalkulator juga bisa, ya kan? Okay, so now that's the first one. We're talking about perimeter. Now we're going to talk about the area. Sekarang area gimana ya? Oke. Area. Oke, sekarang saya mau ke Kenny. Oke, tadi kata Akasha kita punya dua shape ya. This is shape number 1, this is shape number 2. Oke, now area number 1 jadinya gimana, Kenny? Cara ngitungnya.
21 dikali 20 bukan?
Berapa? 20?
20
Kali?
dikali 21.
Ya, bagus. Thank you, Kenny. Next. Siapa nih? Elia. Kalau yang ini gimana? Bisa my circle. Saya udah kasih rumusnya ya. Tuh, nih rumusnya nih. Tuh.
Rumusnya.
Ya, rumusnya udah ada nih. Rumusnya.
Yang area atau
Yang area ya, yang area.
pi
22/7 kali
R kali R.
Ya, kali R kali R. R-nya berapa tadi? R-nya berapa tadi?
R kali R.
R-nya berapa tadi nilainya?
R pangkat 2.
Betul. Yang saya tanya R-nya tadi panjangnya berapa senti ya?
10,5.
Iya, sip, thank you ya. Iya, 10,5 atau saya tulisnya 21/2 aja ya. Nah, tapi guys, ingat ini kan cuma setengah lingkaran. This is just half of that circle. Jadi harus dikali setengah ya nggak? Ya nggak? Atau dibagi 2 ya. Okay, so here we go. Right? We have the calculation. Again, guys, if you don't want to bother yourself with the calculation, just use the calculator. That's it. Ya. Ya udah tinggal masukin aja kalkulator ya. 20 times 21 is 420. And for this one, I'm gonna use what do you call it? I'm gonna cancel some numbers, right? So I'm gonna cancel this 7 and the 21. This is going to be 1. This is going to be 3. And I'm gonna cancel this one and this one. This is 1 and 11, right? And then getting bisa cancel lagi. Ya udah, plus 11 times 3 times 21 times 1. Okay, can anyone help me with the calculation using the calculator? Silakan. Wino baru datang lagi. Wah, chatnya banyak banget nih. Aduh. Maaf ya saya nggak baca chat. Ya, gimana guys?
693.
693. Kayaknya ada koma-komanya deh. Soalnya atasnya genap, yang bawahnya ganjil. Oh, itu yang 11 kali 3 kali 21 ya? Oh, kan masih
Iya,
ada
Pak.
per 4 ya. Ini kan 2 kali 2 4 ya. Oke, kalau dibagi 4 jadi berapa tuh? Oke, divide that by 4 jadi berapa? 693, saya kalkulator saya mana ya?
173,25, Pak.
Berapa?
173,25.
Oke, itu ya. Nah, udah tinggal ditambahin ya, right? So you add those two, you have 593.25 centimeters squared. Okay. So again, guys, this is just an example for you guys because most of the time the shapes are maybe a slight different like this one. So again, what you need to do is to analyze how many shapes do you have, right? That's the first one. The second one is that if you need that length, you find that length, and in how like in any way you can do it, right? For example, like the one that we have previously, which is the what do you call it? The radius, right? So the radius is actually, again, guys, this is a vertical line. So connect that with other vertical lines, which is this one, right? Oh, so that will be connected. So because that R is basically just half of this, or divide that by 2, you get the R. So that will be 10.5 from 21 divided by 2. Or you just write down 21 over 2, it's the same thing. Okay. Okay, now let's go to the next one. I'm gonna skip that. This one, because this one is actually the same thing. I'm gonna go here this time. Okay. Oops, kok pindah sebentar guys. Oh ya 725 ini. Wait, cek teman. 3,25 nya saya pindahin dulu ya. Biar enggak. Oke, here. Okay, now the shape over here. Okay, silakan. How many shape do we have here? Berapa banyak ya? Ada 2 ya? Oke, ya udah. Saya langsung aja guys, karena tadi udah lumayan pada ngerti ya. So I'm gonna draw the shapes. I'm gonna draw the line, guys. That is going to help you to calculate the area. I'm just going to talk about area for this one. Ya. The area of the shape. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that will be the help for you guys to find the area. I'm just going to talk about the area for this question. So what is the area? Oke, silakan. Siapa yang mau coba? Yang belum boleh, yang belum tuh ada banyak nih. Jovan, ada siapa lagi nih? Rai, Arahan udah. Kiko masih off cam. Akasha boleh coba lagi. Bunga belum. Felisa. And then we have Aurel, Rafael, Aziza, Faliha, Arkan, Gio, Danish, dan Nadia. Silakan. Oke, gimana guys? Ayo, bagaimana? What do you think? Ntar kalau saya tanya si A terus nanti protes. Pokok si A terus gitu. Terus saya muternya ke situ-situ gitu aja. Ayo yang lain dicoba ya guys. It's okay guys, no problem ya. Pokoknya yang penting nyoba dulu. Oke. Saya nanya Tristan lagi. Tristan dulu. Iya deh, Tristan lagi deh. Tristan kayaknya lagi asik main tisu ya. Tadi saya lihat lagi main tisu.
Enggak, Pak.
Oh enggak, kayak lagi main tisu. Ya udah Tristan deh, saya mau tanya Tristan. Ini ada berapa shape? Terus nama shape-nya apa aja?
Itu ada half triangle, Pak.
Half triangle?
Bukan triangle.
Ya triangle aja, nggak usah pakai half.
Tapi itu half, Pak.
Hah? Half triangle? Kalau saya begini bilangnya half triangle. Enggak kan? Ya triangle, ya tetap triangle dong. Kalau circle yang tadi baru dibagi 2 deh.
Ya,
gitu.
maaf.
Ya oke. Nggak usah minta maaf. Ya kan? Ya oke. Nah, now we have 2 shapes ya. The first one is triangle sama apa tadi? Tristan, sorry.
Yang satunya square, Pak.
Square, okay, very good. Okay, so which means that we only need to find the area of the square and then add that with the area of the triangle. Okay, now tadi perasaan ada Alzam deh. Alzam mana ya? Okay, so the area will be equals to the total area. Ya. Total area will be equals to A1 plus A2. And since we know that the first shape is a square, okay, I'm gonna go to Brian. Brian, what's the area of the first shape? Yang mana Brian? Yang ini nih, saya gambar boleh ya? Nih, shape pertama yang ini nih. Set. Boom. Nah, itu dia.
10 times 16.
Ya, betul sekali ya. 16 times 16. Thank you, Brian. Oke, nah Danish nih udah on cam. Danish, how about the second shape? The second shape is a triangle. Here we go. I'm gonna draw the triangle for you. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ya, kok gitu sih triangle-nya nggak asik ya? Nggak lurus nih. Set, sot, hup. Nah, oke. Gimana nih? Danish, saya mau tanya Danish. Danish, what do you think is, how can we calculate the area of that triangle? Gimana? Danish, boleh. Silakan. Oke, saya mau ke Akasha lagi deh. Akasha, what do you think, Akasha? What is the area of the second shape?
16 times 8 divided by 2.
Yes, thank you very much, Akasha. Yes, it's 16 times 8 divided by 2. Remember, guys, what I said before that the area of a triangle is just like base times height divided by 2, right? So the base in here, guys, so can you see that if I separate this, nih lihat ya baik-baik ya, this triangle, if I separate this, right? If I kalau saya rotate begini gitu kan, nah ya enggak, ini jadi base-nya nih, right? Ini kan sama dengan ini ya tadi ya, 16 kan? Nah, itu dia. Terus height-nya gimana, Pak? Nah, height kan dari sini ke sini ya. Itu kan sama aja dari sini ke sini, enggak? Nah, itu dia. Ini base sama height-nya, gitu ya. Kalau diputar jadi kelihatan ya. Nah, gitu guys. So this is 16 times 8 divided by 2. Okay, so just calculate this using the calculator. What is 16 times 16, guys? Berapa? 16 kali 16? Kalkulatornya ada, tinggal pencet. Keluar.
256, Pak.
Okay, thank you, Nikki. And then 16 times 8 divided by 2, I could just cancel this, and this becomes 8. Sorry, balik. Becomes a 1, and this becomes 8. 8 times 8 is 64. Okay, and then you just add those two numbers, right? So we get 330. Is it? 320, yeah. Sorry, 320. Meter square, karena dalam meter. Selesai, right? Piece of cake, ya enggak? Enggak piece of cake sih. Ini piece of mathematics. Bagaimana? Any question, guys? I'm gonna give you one last question after this. One last question. One atau two ya, tergantung. Nanti kalau one question udah ngerti semua, ya udah. Kalau tapi nggak ngerti, berarti ada two questions. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, this one time a little bit different, right? So for all of these examples that we have, we are adding them because they're combined. Langsung gitu ya, digabung-gabung aja gitu kan. Nah, tapi for this shape, it's a little bit different. Okay, mana ya? Bukan yang itu, bukan yang itu. Nah, ini dia. Okay, so the question is, kayaknya agak miring dikit ya guys, harusnya enggak ya. Nah, ini. Okay, the question is, find the area, the shaded area. Calculate the shaded area. Calculate the shaded area. Nah, gitu. Yang ditanya cuma yang shaded doang. Yang shaded itu yang mana? Yang ini doang yang ditanya. Yang ini nggak termasuk. Gitu. Okay. So, question. How do you think we can get the area of that shaded, that shaded thing. Gimana ya guys? Aruni, boleh Aruni? What do you think, Aruni?
Saya nggak tahu deh, Pak.
Oke. Cynthia?
Saya mau coba, Pak.
Oh ya, boleh Aira. Yes.
14 kali 14.
Terus?
Hasilnya 196.
Terus?
Yang dalamnya 7 kali 7, 49. Terus 196 kurang 49.
Oke, pertanyaan saya kenapa dikurang?
Karena yang dikalkulate yang di shaded doang.
Iya, jadi intinya lihat ya. Ini sama aja gini guys. Ya, terima kasih Era. That's a good answer ya. Bener jawabannya. Itu saya tulis ya. Okay, so here we go guys. I'm gonna illustrate something for you guys. So let's see. You have a cake ya. You have a cake. This is like a rectangle shape ya. Ya kayak box lah. And then suddenly your brother or your sister takes something from here ya kan. You take it, diambil segini gitu kan. Misalnya tadinya nih harganya let's say 10.000 gitu ya. Terus diambil nih segini gitu kan. Pertanyaannya, apakah harganya akan nambah jadi 11.000 atau berkurang misalnya jadi 9.000? Gitu kan? Right? So that's the logical thinking. Oh, if I take something from here, right? You take something, means that you are going to subtract, right? So this logical thinking is just subtract the big one with the small one, or the big one with the small. That's it, ya kan? Kurangin yang bentuk yang gede dengan bentuk yang kecil gitu kan. So previously gitu ya. Jadi I'm gonna illustrate again for you guys. So on how we actually got that. Sebentar, Niko nggak mau ya. Error. Bentar ya. Oke, saya akan gambar ya. I'm gonna draw it again for you. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna draw that a square for you. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Nah, tadinya ini ya kan? So you have this, right? You have this rectangle. You have this square, and the length is 14 times 14, the side length, right? So which means that the area of this square is 14 times 14, which is equals to 196. Okay, that's it. But, right? Tadinya kan ini area semuanya gitu ya. Tapi guys, tiba-tiba ada lagi nih square ini gitu ya. Nih square ini nih. Square ini mengambil gitu ya. Nih saya ambil segini punya kamu. Ah, gitu kan. Karena dia diambil, dipotong gitu ya, dikeluarin. Berarti kan dikurang dong ya kan. Ini yang pertama A1 ya. So this is A2, this is 7 times 7, right? So A2 is 7 times 7 equals to 49. Loh kok. Kayak suka aneh nih. Oke, 49 gitu ya. So the logical thinking here, instead of adding, ya kalau tadi kan ditambah karena ya udah semuanya di dalam gitu kan. Nah, karena ini enggak diambil gitu dalamnya. Oh, berarti dikurang gitu. So which means that the total area will be equals to 100 ya. 196 minus 49. Oke, tadi berapa? 196 kurang 49 berapa? Hasilnya? 147 ya? Oh ya? Benar ya? Benar ya? Benar ya? Oke, so there you go. So centimeter square. Oke, gitu ya. Jadi so you need to see the shape first. I mean the picture. Whether it's adding or subtracting, it depends, right? For this one, because you're only calculating the shaded area, which is just this part over here, which is like, oh itu kan nggak semuanya yang ada dalam sini, nggak gitu kan? Tapi kan oh ternyata tuh ya udah diambil segini gitu, jadi dikurang. Oke, thank you very much Aira. Oke, one last question ya berarti ya. Satu lagi deh. Nih, nah sama kan? Nah, right? So for this one, it's actually the same thing, guys. You have that rectangle, and then you take something in a circle shape inside. So if I draw it again for you guys, so we have this shape over here. The first one is the rectangle. Ya, kok error sih? Wait, otomatis kudasai. Set. Nah, ya kok nggak pas? Biar pas dulu nih, guys. Saya gambarnya harus sedikit hati-hati. Nah, oke ya. Ya, kok gitu lah. Nggak asik nih. Ini saya lebihin dikit dah. Biar dia lebih keluar dikit. Ih, kok jadi square lagi sih? Ya udahlah, kira-kira gitulah ya. So previously we have this shape over here, right? And then you take something inside, right? So we can calculate this area first. So the area of the shape is 12 and 8. So the area of this shape is equals to 12 times 8, which is equals to 96, right? And then we also have the circle, this circle over here, right? So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna dipotong lah dalamnya nih sama dia segini. Bisa sebenarnya mau taruh di sini, sama aja, guys. Ini kan cuma diambil tapi bentuknya sama ya. Dan ukurannya sama. And then the radius is 4 cm. So the area 2 will be pi r square ya. Pi-nya kita pakai 3,14 ya. Because it's divisible, not divisible by 7. So times 4 times 4. Yeah. Okay, can anyone help me with the calculation? What is 3.14 times 4 times 4? Silakan. Berapa ya? Cekaman. Gimana? Kalkulatornya dipakai
50,24 Pak.
50,24. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. So again, guys, because this is like you only need to find the shaded area in which the shaded area is like less than the whole rectangle. So you're going to subtract this, right? So the total area will be equals to 96. Ya ampun. 96 minus 50.24, and that will be equals to 45.76 ya, centimeters. Oke, itu baru datang lagi. Oke, gitu ya guys. So this is the illustration for you guys. And how to calculate some compound shape. It can be addition. It can be also a subtraction. So notice that you might come up with something like this. For example, I have a rectangle, for example, and then you'll have like a circle inside, and then you can also have like a triangle inside, right? And then you want to find the shaded area. So for example, the shaded area is outside. So which means that you're going to find the rectangle area minus that with the area of the circle and minus that again with the area of the triangle, right? A simple step. Again, guys, we only need to use our logic, whether it's just adding or subtracting, that's it, right? And again, I don't need you, I mean, like, it doesn't matter if you want to memorize the formula, it's fine. You can see it in Google, you can see it from your notes, right? The most important thing is you know how to use it, okay? The same thing with the calculator, okay? You have the calculator, you need to know how to use the calculator. It's there to help you, okay? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing here. Wait, jangan keluar dulu ya. Nanti saya oh ya. Ini ada yang mau latihan. Oh ya, sudah selesai kok. Oh sudah. Oke, saya mau absen ulang ya guys. Saya tadi tulis tangan soalnya, tapi tetap saya harus tulis di sini ya. Cek aman. Absen. Saya kebanyakan nonton Korea. Jadinya ngomongnya cekaman dulu. Kalau bahasa Jepangnya kan coto mati kudasai. Coto mati. Orewa gitu kayak gitu kan. Coto mati kudasai. Saya mau absen dulu ya. Oke, sekarang hari Jumat sesi kedua. Saya mulai dari kelas Wellington dulu ya. Akasha ada, Arkan ada, Aruni, Bima lagi izin. Ali ada, Danish ada, Erik saya nggak lihat ya. Oke, kemudian Bunga ada, Aziza ada, Kiko masih ada kah di sini? Kiko mana ya? Ada nggak? Bisakah? Oh, tidak ada. Tadi juga dari tadi tidak ini ya, tidak menyalakan kamera dan tidak nyaut, berarti saya tulis A aja ya. Oke, Idris ada, terima kasih. Raihan, thank you. Nadira L ya, thank you. Niki, Sharon juga lagi izin, tadi sakit kayaknya. Nadia telat ya tadi ya. Nadia, apakah masih di situ? Can you turn the camera on, Nadia? Oh ya, thank you Nadia ya. Saya harus pastiin kalian di situ ya guys. Kalian di situ datang tapi nggak on cam juga nggak nyaut ya, saya tulisnya A. Oke, thank you for the seven apa nih? Seven Wellington udah, sekarang seven Istanbul. Let's see. Bella ada, oke. Rafael tadi ada, oke. Aira, thank you. Brian, Cynthia, oke. Darren. Sekarang ke Falihah. Apakah Falihah masih ada di situ, Falihah? Falihah masih ada enggak ya? Masih ada. Oke, on cam. Sip. Thank you, Falihah. Tristan, Jovan tadi telat. Apakah bisa on cam, Jovan? Jovan, halo. Hitung sampai 3. Oh, bisa. Oke, ya. Kamu telat tadi ya. Telatnya lama banget. Jovan tadi telatnya 17 menit ya. Oke, Halim, thank you. Masih ada, thank you. Kenny, thank you. Kiara. Alzam masih ada enggak? Oh, Alzam kok hilang lagi? Tadi sempat jawab ya pertanyaan saya walaupun telatnya. Oke, sudah. Lukman, thank you very much. Aurel masih ada enggak? Aurelia, oh ada. Thank you. Gio, bisa on cam Gio? Halo, Gio, halo. Selamat siang. Gio, loh kok hilang? Ya, oke, udah Pak ya berarti ya. Terima kasih. Kalisa, ada ya Kalisa? Oke. Jadi tinggal Azam aja ya. Oke. Oh, Palihah. Oke. Ya udah guys, ini saya stop recording dulu.